It is 1938 in Toledo. The Willys Overland plant is producing one of the most popular cars in the country. The Port of Toledo has grown to be second largest on the Great Lakes. Trolleys were the mainstay of public transit, and you could ride an elephant at the Toledo Zoo. And while Toledo was vital and growing 80 years ago, there was no school for children with developmental disabilities. The task to develop such a school fell to Josina Lott, who came to Toledo in 1938 with a belief that would cast a long shadow into the future. There are no uneducable children. Mrs. Lott's first class of 4 children began an evolution of growing opportunities for persons with developmental disabilities in education, employment, housing, and social activities. Today, the Lucas County Board of Developmental Disabilities touches the lives of thousands of individuals every day. Our belief is that every person has value and should receive the supports necessary to reach their full potential. We maintain that belief through a major transition that saw direct services provided by the board transferred to the private sector, requiring a realigning of staff, but always with the emphasis on service coordination, ensuring safe environments, and supporting the more than 400 certified Medicaid providers in Lucas County.
The Provider Support Department offers trainings for our providers each month, and that is to ensure that they are receiving all the sufficient training that is required annually for them. Currently, we have a brand new Provider Support Development Unit, which is working with providers so that they can serve individuals with autism, medically fragile, dual diagnosis, and cognitive behaviors.
As part of our effort to support providers, the board is committed to assisting the providers through efforts such as the Success Coach to help with the fulfillment of staffing needs.
We support our provider network through recruiting staff from our local community and reducing barriers to work for existing staff through Success Coach services. Success Coach services engaged over 185 employees in the member agencies of the newly formed Employer Resource Network and provided 219 service linkages to reduce barriers in employment and increasing a sustainable workforce.
Supports provided by the Lucas County Board of Developmental Disabilities span a lifetime. This past year, the Early Intervention Program served 550 children under the age of 3, and more than 700 children ages 3 to 21 also received services.
So after a child turns 3, they can receive supports through the board. It could either be just through community supports or through a service and support specialist, all the way from young children as young as 3, all the way to when they hit those mid-teen years. A lot of families are looking for support with what's going to happen when they graduate, where am I going to live, where am I going to work, where am I going to spend my time. So we have service and support specialists that specialize in that age group too, in addition to employment navigators that can help you identify what your interests are, what you might want to do, and start getting linked with other agencies and schools with possibilities to look at all those options.
The board continues its efforts to stretch local tax dollars. The majority of individuals served in the DD community receive funding from Medicaid, but it only covers 60% of the cost. The remaining 40% comes from local funds administered by the board. So, for every local dollar the board spends on serving people in our community, it is able to secure $1.50 from Medicaid. The board is committed to the concept of self-determination.
So we spend time identifying both those things that are important to people. Those are the kind of things that make them happy, give them some satisfaction, and help have a quality life, as well as those things that are important for people. And that is really looking at those things that are essential to help ensure people's health and safety and their welfare.
A major emphasis is being placed on developing the FANS network, friends, allies, and neighbors, a community volunteer movement to help ensure that individuals with disabilities have the opportunity to live less segregated lives and enjoy the best possible quality of life.
How the FANS network is going to roll out is we did start with 4 key areas. Those areas would be Make Their Day, where they could access their local mud hens or access local eateries. Second area would be our partnerships with the Goodwill Industries of Northwest Ohio to provide $25 vouchers for our individuals. Golden Furniture Retrievers. What we usually find out is that usually it's getting the stuff from A to B that can be an issue for some people, so we want to make sure those are met. And last but not least, access their churches and places for game night.
Going hand in hand with community inclusion is the growing program of support for self-advocacy. The Lucas County Board of Developmental Disabilities will continue to support eligible individuals and their families in developing a vision for the future based on an individual's strengths, interests, and choices.
He has the same dreams. He wants to be independent. He wants to live on his own. He wants to live life